Hi guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to make bag with your PDF pattern. So these are the PDF pattern for the bag we started some few days back, the Maxi tote bag. So now you can see this is the main panel and these are both main panels. I'm just going to show you everything. This is the base. This is the base panel. This is the gusset, that's the side panel of the bag. This is the asset panel for the zipper, and this is the handle panel. This other one is the ring connector or your D-ring holder. Now I'm going to tell you how this PDF pattern work. So instead of you stressing yourself to draft out your template, thinking of measurement, the accurate measurement to take for your bag, all you have to do when you get your PDF pattern is to use the pattern to cut out your interfacing and your exterior for your bag. All the measurements are already accurate, so all you have to do is get the pattern and then use it to cut out your interfacing and exterior part of your bag. Now for this particular PDF pattern, this is actually free and link to this pattern will be in the description box. So note that we already did the physical drafting of this bag via live. Link to the live or the link to the pattern drafting will also be in the description box. So this is the digital drafting of the pattern, so you can just get the pattern and use it to cut out your bag interface, because this is actually for the interfacing. The exterior is not included, so you can just get this and use it to cut out your interfacing instead of going through the stress of drafting out your pattern physically. So now, how do you get your pattern? How do you draft this on your laptop? How do you get this? That is one of the bonuses that is going to be taught in the online class. And note that our online class is on a 50% discount off just till February 14th. And that means instead of $65, you are going to be paying $32, and instead of 60,000 naira Nigeria currency, you are going to be paying just 30,000 naira. So now I'm going to cut this out. So when you get your pattern, you print it out using an A4 paper, and you have to make sure the default setting is in 100%. So that way when you print it out, the measurement is going to be accurate, because when it's not on 100%, when you print, it might come out smaller. And this is what I mean. You can see, let me quickly show you. Now you can see this gusset compared to this is way smaller than this. So this was not on 100% when it was printed out. So if your setting is not on 100%, and if you are not using A4 paper as well, when you print it out, it's going to be smaller and the measurement is not going to be accurate. So these are some of the things you are going to be taught when you join the ongoing online class, especially now that it's on a discount. That's a very great opportunity for you if you cannot afford the actual price. So know that this is just going to be till February 14, and that is barely 3 or 4 days from now. So the earlier you hurry up, the better. So when you get your pattern, after printing it out, you make sure you cut through the middle of these lines. So we're just going to do that. The link to the full tutorial of this Maxi tote bag will be pinned in the comment section and also in the description box. You can click on the link to watch the full tutorial. So this is just me teaching you how to use your PDF pattern to make bags. So most time, instead of drafting, you can just get your PDF pattern and use it to make your bag. That is way more easier than cutting and measuring and drafting. So you can check our website. We have some patterns, different amazing bags you can check out on our website. So patterns as one very easy way of making your bags. Just go through the instructions carefully, print out your pattern accurately, and you are good to go. So you can also make your own PDF pattern by joining our online class, where we are going to teach you everything you need to know, the app you need, and all the basic things you need to know in creating PDF patterns. So all you have to do is just cut this out carefully. Make sure you cut through the middle of the line when cutting, so at the end you are cutting out the right way or right measurements. Now all the pattern pieces are ready. So as you can see, this is the main panel. So this is going to be acting as the main interfacing for the main panel. So here you can see this is not the full measurement for the main interfacing. This is half of it. So the app you use for printing or drafting your pattern has a specified measurement. So whatever you are drafting out has to fit into that measurement. So that is the reason for drafting or printing out half of the main panel. So here I have the other half of it. So what we are going to do, you can see there are arrows here on both panels. So you are going to make sure these arrows match these together. You make sure you don't overlap. Just place them and make sure they are both aligned. Just place them together. So after making sure they are well aligned, you are going to hold them down together with your masking tape. So just place it gently. Have to make sure they don't overlap so that the measurement is still going to come out accurately. So I'm just going to place this right on top. So now here we have the full measurement of the main interfacing. So we are going to repeat this on all the panels of the bag. So this is the base panel. So you make sure just place these arrows. You can see there are arrows here on both half piece of the base panel. So you place them together, making sure they don't overlap. By overlap, I mean make sure you don't place one on top of the other. Just place them and make sure the arrows are properly aligned. So I'm going to hold this down with my masking tape. So now note that we are not making a full bag. This is just me teaching you how to make bag with your printable PDF pattern. So we are just going to use these to cut out our interface. Now I'm not making a full bag, so I'm going to be using my chipboard as an alternative for this. I'm not using a leather board to teach. I'm going to be using a chipboard to so I'm going to be using a chipboard to illustrate everything we are going to do today instead of my leather board. So now this is the main interfacing. This is the base interfacing. Here is the gusset. So we are going to use this gusset panel to cut out two interfacing. Now here is the ring connector, and this is the handle. Now this, you can see on the handle it says print two piece and marks together. So this is half of the handle. So first we are going to cut out interface for the main panel. Now remember that our Ankara Maxi tote bag is a one piece bag. So what do I mean by one piece? The base panel is not separated from both main panels. So when you are cutting out your interfacing, you have to make sure you are cutting both main panels together with the base panel. But here we have our main panel separate from our base panel. So how are we going to use this to cut out one long piece? So here you have three ways you can do this. First, you can use this main panel. Remember, when you are cutting out your interfacing, you are using your light interfacing like your leather board. So first, you can use this, your pattern piece, to draft out a chipboard, same measurement with your main panel, your main interfacing. Just place it on your chipboard and trace it out to get another piece of the main panel. Now place this on your interfacing, and on this bottom part of it, you are going to join the base to it using your masking tape, and then you take this other panel of the main interfacing and join it to the other end of your base panel with your masking tape. So this way you have your one long piece all together. You can use this to cut out your interfacing, or you can just use your printed pattern this way. Just join the base panel to the main panel and trace it. And when you get to this point, you can remove this main panel, turn it the other way around, and then you complete the full panel of the bag. But note that we are going to cut on the base line to get the shape of the base. So because of that, I'm going to be using the third method to do this. So first, I'm just going to place this. I'm not joining the base panel to the main panel. I'm going to trace this out first, this main panel. I'm just going to trace it out. So make sure you hold this down properly. You can place any heavy object on it to help you hold it down. So I'm just going to carefully trace it out. Now I'm going to remove this and place my base on this line. Now I'm going to trace this base, trace it out. So the reason I did not join the base to the main panel is because this way I do not have to mark out the position of the base when I am trying to cut through the line to get the shape for the base. So now I'm just going to take this main panel, turn it the other way, make sure the bottom part of it is on the base. So you turn it this way, place it on this line. You have to make sure you don't overlap the line. So hold this down and trace. So now this way we have our one piece all together. So you can take your ruler and straighten the lines. So now I'm just going to cut this out. Now after cutting, this is how it's going to come out. This is going to be your one long piece. Now you are going to place your ruler on this baseline and use your blade to cut a little bit across the line, just enough to fold this to get the shape of the base. So because this is a paper board, I'm just going to fold on this line. So when you're cutting, you make sure you don't cut through the line, just cut a little bit across the line because we only need to fold it. So now you can see this is the shape of the Maxi tote bag. So this is how it's going to form. You can see how we use our printed PDF pattern to drag this out instead of stressing ourselves to measure and cut. So that is one benefit of using a PDF pattern. It is much easier than measuring and marking. Just print out your pattern and you cut. Now we are going to work on the gusset panel. So this is the gusset, that's the side of the bag. So we're just going to use this to cut out two light interfacing for both sides of your bag. So I'm just going to place it on my chipboard and trace it out. So you make sure you hold it down properly so it doesn't move out of place. So now I'm going to straighten the lines. So I have gone ahead to prepare the other side of the bag. So we're just going to work with this. Now remember, you are going to sew this cutout close. You are going to place this tip together and sew this part close with 1/4 of an inch this way. After sewing it close, you are then going to place this on your main panel. Now when you want to place, you make sure you place it starting from the base So this way your side panel is going to be correctly placed. You're going to place it on the base part of the bag first, then you clip the sides, the longer edge of the gusset or the side panel to the longer side of the main panel. So just fold it this way. So you can see our gusset is not the same measurement with the main panel. So that's one of the reasons you have to make sure you start placing it from the base panel. So now this way both gussets are going to be on equal lengths. So this is the outcome of the maxi tote bag. So you can see. Now we're just going to quickly work on the handle panel of the bag. So now this is the ring connector, or you call it your D-ring holder, and this is for the handle panel. So we need two of the handle panel for each side of the bag, each panel of the bag, and we need four of the ring connectors for each short end of the handle. So I've gone ahead to cut out three of my ring connector, and I've also prepared one of the handle piece. So now we are going to cut out the fourth ring connector together and also use our handle pattern piece to prepare the other handle panel. So I'm just going to place this on my chipboard, hold it down and trace. So now you're going to move this, place the shorter edge of it on this line. So just place it, you make sure you don't overlap the line, just place it directly on the line and hold this down. Then you continue from the line where you stopped, just trace this. So now this way you have your handle panel, the measurement of your handle panel complete. So I'm going to straighten out the lines first before cutting. So I'm going to cut this out, place it and trace. So when you cut out your handle interface this way, you are going to prep it or wrap it with your exterior fabric, either your Ankara fabric or your vinyl. So after wrapping, you are then going to fold this into half. You can apply gum at the middle to help you hold it together. You are going to fold it into half this way, and then you take it to your sewing machine and top stitch on both longer edge of the handle with 1/8 of an inch. You're going to top stitch on this longer edge that is opened and also top stitch on this other part of the handle. But I'm just going to fold this. Now after sewing on both longer edge, you are going to mark 2 inch or 2 inches on both short edge of the handle panel. So this is because we are going to pass it through our ring and top stitch on it. So now this is my ring connector and these are my rings. So what you do, you pass your ring connector through the ring. So you can hold this with your gum. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of gum. It has to dry a little bit. I like to dry for a couple of minutes. Now after passing your ring connector through the ring this way, you are going to take your handle panel and pass it through the other end of the ring. Now you are going to fold this short edge to meet this 2 inches mark on the handle panel. So you are going to fold it this way. You can see, you make sure the edge is on this mark and also apply gum. Just apply a little bit of gum. So this is, because this is a paper board, so this is how your handle is basically going to look like. So now what you are going to do to make this easy, you can pass the handle panel through the ring first, take it to your sewing machine and top stitch very close to the ring. So first you top stitch very close to the ring before passing your ring connector through the other end of the ring. So after doing this, we are then going to place this on the main panel of our bag. So have to make sure you are facing the ring connector the right way. So it's going to face this way. This smoother edge of the handle normally faces the outside part of your back panel. So now this is the back panel. Note that you have to fix the handle panel to the back panel first before sewing your side panels to it. So I'm just going to remove this. Now to sew your handle panel to the back, so from this longer edge you are going to mark 1.5 inches, and then from this top part of the bag you are going to mark 1/2 inch. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on this other side. First you mark 1.5 inch from the longer edge, and then you mark 1/2 inch from the shorter edge, that's the top edge of the back panel. Okay, so one way to make this easy, you can apply a little bit of super glue on this back part of your ring connector and then you place it. So to place this, you are going to make sure this half part of your handle panel that passes through the ring, you are going to place it on this 1/2 inch mark this way. And then first you have to apply your super glue on this part of your ring connector. So I'm just going to use my gum. So all you are going to do, just make sure you place this head part of your handle panel on this 1/2 inch mark. So it's not dry, that's why it's pulling off. So when you place it, You take this to your sewing machine and you top stitch around your ring connector. So that's basically it. So this is how you make your bag with your PDF printed patterns. Now don't forget, our online class is still on a 50% discount, so register with this discounted price.